everyone! Good morning. Oh no, my hat. Come back, hat. No. Oh. You see nothing. It's passed backwards. There we go. Ha! You see nothing. I knew what I was doing. Look at me. Let's try that again. Hold on. Alrighty then. Welcome back. And welcome here for the first time today. My name is Michael. I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer, and welcome to Pathfinder 2nd Edition, Curse of the Crimson Throne, our Pathfinder tabletop role-playing game featuring these wonderful and amazing Patreons who come in week and week out to come and have a great time around the table with me, your Dungeon Master. Guys, say hello to the folks at home.
Hello.
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 Yay!
Happy whatever day it is.
It is Monday for me, but whatever day it happens to be for you, yes, indeed, a shared sentiment of happiness for the day in question, shared by all. Before we begin, I'd like to give a warm welcome to, I'm going to try this, Sint Psycho. I'm going to say that. That's my guess. Welcome in. If you are new to the channel, it is great to meet you. It's great to see you. If you are here from before, then, also welcome back. I mean, I don't recognize the name. But yes, as mentioned by our lovely and amazing chat who has already started chatting away, we are a very open, very communicative game. And if you have any questions about the system, about the story, anything like that, please do not hesitate to put it in chat. We, look, we have a small group, small chat, small audience, small group of people. So we are very, 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 very invested in your experience as well as everyone else. Silent Psycho. There we go. Okay, cool. Thank you. I love that. All right. Well, welcome in Silent. Nice to meet you. And, of course, welcome to everyone else. Now, before we kick off, we have some people to thank before we start our game today, and it starts with none other than our sponsors. Guys, we have a number of sponsors who are responsible for helping us bring the game here, as well as the quality of the sessions that we run. First of all, we have none other than the wonderful folks at Hero Forge for the artwork you see on screen, as well as the tokens of the people who do not appear on camera. It is a 3D model making software that allows you to create bespoke characters and have them 3D printed and shipped to you anywhere in the world. In addition, right now they are just about to launch their Kickstarter for Hero Forge Dice, where they'll be putting Hero Forge mini pieces into resin dice for Dungeons and Dragons and Pathfinder and stuff. So keep an eye out for that as well. We then have Sirenscape for the beautiful and wonderful sound sets that you will hear over the course of this session. All of these sound sets that we have are from a massive and intense library to help immerse my players in the full experience of our session. Now, games like Curse of the Crimson Throne, for example, actually do have pre-generated sound sets available for Sirenscape. So, hey, consider subscribing, and if you're running games like me that are modular in nature, there are some that'll just, be super easy to, fill in and do, and yay. Then, of course, we have our VTT of choice, Fantasy Grounds, which you can see behind me. It is my VTT of choice because it allows me to pivot on a dime using your ideas, your thoughts, and your encounters in order to very swiftly make games, more improv. As you can see behind me, we've got our current battle, which is very much in the spirit of that, with a giant, colossal castle, animated castle type thing, battling with our group, and on its interior, a giant animated suit of armor. Now, this battle here was inspired by the audience, and I was able to whip it up in like a minute. So yeah, Fantasy Grounds is amazing and does a ton of heavy lifting for me as a game master, so I highly recommend it. Okay. Now, of course, no game is complete without a group of amazing characters. So to tell you about themselves and the characters that they're playing, I'm going to turn the ball over to my players while I quickly fetch myself a beverage for this morning's game. Starting with none other than our dear friend, Marcus.
Hello. Yep, I am Marcus. I am playing Unok, the dragon-slaying orc barbarian. Met the party in Belkzen while they were investigating Scarwall, specifically to find the MacGuffin sword. Unfortunately, Unok, being stubborn as he is, watched from up high as Alexander got absolutely shredded by a dragon because Unok's like, they got this. Oh, they don't got this. uh, he is now currently having many regrets as he is now trapped in a well with a siege weapon ballista being aimed right at him.
Oh, hello. I'm Laura Bones, and I play Agnes, who is a psychic by class. Spent my early life with the Varisian caravans and then moved to Corvosa to raise her daughter, who's now a very fine young woman. And she has come adventuring with these people to try and save her city so that her very fine young daughter can grow up to be a very fine young woman in a nice city instead of a horrible city.
Okay, I'm not sure if
Also get a
Dante's
date with
back yet.
Fisherman Dan.
Oh yeah. I don't think Dante's back, so I'll jump in. I'm Steve, Cookie Steve, playing Ray. Shiny and new to the party. And I'm a Tanuki champion kind of guy thing that's just happily going around smacking things.
Hello, I am Cass. I am playing Alizaro, the awakened secretary bird swashbuckler, who, as it turns out, according to a very fancy book in the library, may not entirely be a secretary bird. So I'm excited to see how that plays out.
And do we have a Dante back yet?
He hasn't responded in the chat yet, so.
No, that's okay. Well, we have, of course, none other than the amazing and wonderful Dante, who is a kitsune druid and a protector of all things in the wild places, on a quest for vengeance after his best friend died due to participation in the drug trafficking trade. Dante has invested himself in the freedom of Corvosa in honor of his late friend. But is currently now having to deal with the spirit of an angry and disgruntled dragon. So there you go. And of course, speaking of dragons, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's take a quick moment to welcome in the Raiders from Dice Legends, our friend from across the channel, heading over into the lands of New Zealand. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't had a chance to, please go and check out our friends, Dice Legends, led by the incredible, talented, musical, and magical mind of our dear, dear friend Vahid. I hope you're doing well, my friend. I hope you and all of the Dice Legends family are living your best, having a great time, kicking ass, you bloody legends, you. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Michael. I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer. This is my place. This is my face. We play Pathfinder mostly, but we do other games as well from time to time. I run games with my Patreons, hang out with really cool people who love role-playing games. If you like Pathfinder and have wanted to know more about it, or just want to torment these people, stick around. That's pretty much all I do. We sit around, run my players through games, and have the audience have at them. That's pretty much my general operation thing. So good to see so many familiar faces. Mythical Turian, how are you, my dear? I'm glad that you're having a great time. We're actually just starting, so you came in at a good time. So thank you for bringing your community here and chilling out. To do a quick recap for those of you who have just joined us, our party consists of Holly, who is not here at the moment, played by our dear friend Malakisa, who is a fairy cleric of Asmodeus. We have Unok, the dragon slayer. We have Agnes, the psychic. We have Dante, the druid. Ray, the Tanuki fighter, and Alizaro, a delivery person who has been swept up on this mission because someone stole their horse. And that is a thing. Oh, you know what? Because Mythical Turian, I know that you understand this as well. I am doing okay. I won't say why, but it is a particular anniversary of someone very special to me yesterday that just passed. So I'm okay. I'm not like, high, I'm not like low. I am going to be enjoying today's game because I'm with amazing and colorful. Look at these people. Aren't they amazing? So I am very, very keen for today's session. But yeah, that's how I'm doing. I love that little bat Hecate. That's really cool. So awesome. Can the players help can you help the players and torture Dag instead? That's pretty much the most of it. Yes. Though sometimes, yeah, I mean, we'll see.
We appreciate it.
That's true. All right. Now, before we begin, we have one last person to thank. And of course, hey, that's our audience members. Guys, thank you so much for being here, for participating in our show, and having an amazing time chilling out and enjoying the game. We have a number of ways for you to interact with our session while we are live because, well, quite frankly, why stream on Twitch if you're not going to, interact with folks? So first of all, for those of you who are watching, we have a number of channel point rewards that you can use to influence the game while we play. These are things like insight bonuses to give my players clues while if they get stuck on anything, inspiration to give them advantage rolls, divine intervention to re-roll dice, divine healing to restore them to full health despite the odds, many more of these really cool rewards you earn just from watching the show. Subscribers, you earn a little bit quicker, so if you are wanting to, consider subscribing to the Dead Aussie Gamer channel. Always a fantastic idea because I run so many games, it's easy to earn channel points. Then, of course, we have monetary donations, which today is working towards what we call the Dag of Holding. The Dag of Holding is every $250 that we earn for Dag, and this is the last stream for that. Our players are going to be given a gift of an item, an object, something from my personal games offline, with a little bit of a story of like where they came from and what they mean to me. Last week we had the first magic item I ever received as a player from my original home game that was run by my partner, and it came with a little story about that. So yeah, the Dag of Holding is a little bit of Dag memorabilia that gets offered to my players as a little bit of a thank you. So there you go. So I already see we've got a couple of donations, which is fantastic. I'm just going to very quickly write them down before I lose track of them, because that will absolutely happen. Thank you so much to our first donation, which is for a magic item. Our second donation, which is for Mythical Turian. Myth, if you want to give a hero point to a player of your choice, or if you want to give a jinx point to me, that is what the $5 will get you. And a $20 from Schooly Eye for 2 plot twists. All right, cool. We'll do that in a moment. Cool. Twists done. All right. Ha! All right. So, first of all, for $5, you can donate in order to give red marks to my players or purple marks to me, which I get a purple mark thanks to our dear friend Mythical Turian. The red marks as hero points can be used to stave off death, petition the DM for nonsense that isn't in the rules, or roll with advantage. Jinx points can be used to counteract hero points, make bad guys roll with advantage, or complicate things ever so slightly. Our players fall over. The doors happen to be locked. Something minorly inconvenient has disrupted our players. That's, the $5. For $10, I will draw from a deck of cards. This will either be a deck of heroic actions, which serve as not only a hero point to a player of your choice, but also a special unique power that is a free action that has, from time to time, pulled my players out of some real strife. So there's that. Alternatively, you can draw, for the $10 donation, a draw from the deck of flashbacks and plot twists. Now, while I am running a module, which is Curse of the Crimson Throne, I like to use these plot twists as inspirations to continue to keep my story fluid and on edge. So, for example, we have a $20 donation from our friend Schooly Eye, who has asked for the top 2 cards from the deck to be drawn for today's plot twists. So today's plot twist. Also, hey, Reading, good to see you. And Pfeffers! Pfeffers! Thank you for the sub, you bloody legend, you. How are you, my Viking friend? All right, here we go. So, the top 2 cards of our plot twist deck are a Buried Secret. That's pretty interesting. I like that one. And the second one is The Road Most Traveled. The Road Most Traveled. So there you go. So these 2 plot twists now are story elements that I have to try and weave into today's session. So yeah, keeps me on my toes as a game master. So thank you for that donation. Then, of course, we have our $20 donation, which, of course, is a golden natural 20. But as you can see, all my players are fully loaded with golden natural 20s. But that's okay, because I can use 2 more if anyone has them. Just saying, putting it out there. Because in Pathfinder, sometimes you just need to win shit. Sometimes you just need to succeed, and a nat 20 is the best way to do that. So yeah, there you go. Thank y'all. Then, of course, we have our $50 donation, which is either a magic item of your choosing for a player of your choice. This can be a homebrew item you design. It can be anything you design, and I'll make it Pathfindery. You can ask me to design an item for a piece of our player's set, which I have received a $50 donation for the first piece of Ray's set, which will be the Raiment of the Blooming Rose. Which, if you want to write that down, Cookie, you may do so, because I will forget it. Raiment of the Blooming Rose. Okay, so thank you for that. So we will provide that during the game in just a short while. Or alternatively, hey, if you want to, torment my players, a $50 donation also can go towards a boss buff, making a massive change to the battle, but with a major complication. This could be the boss gets stronger, the terrain changes unfavorably for my players, the ante has changed, so the stakes are higher. This and many, many more are just how a major complication happens. We then have the $100 secret menu item, which is a major boon to the channel and to me and to all the stuff. This item, okay, now, it's going to be the same as last week. It is something I am afraid of, but also I am embracing, because I offered it last week, and I'm going to offer it again, and that is, for the $100 secret menu item, the opportunity will be provided for our players to acquire control of the large castle golem, and for it to become our players' castle. That is to say, our players will be able to pilot it and take it into the final foray against the evil queen, and the rebellion will gain access to a powerful thing. So that is our $100 secret menu item. So yes, that's our stuff. And all proceeds go towards DAG survival. That's literally it. It's like, I don't lie about what I do or how I spend my money. That's, I feel like if I'm getting donated, you owe, I owe at least a little bit that much. If I want to go for dinner, I'll tell you I'll go for dinner. If I want to pay for bills, I'll pay for bills. Today, it's a case of, what do I want? It's like, yeah, like, just, if you want to, you can. Bills aren't really up at the moment, but they will be tomorrow. So, there you go. Can you suggest secret menu items? I'm open. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. All right. Without any further ado, are we ready, players?
Yeah, ready as
Sure.
as ever.
Let's try
Yes.
that again. Are we
Let's
ready,
go.
players?
Yeah!
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Yeah!
All right, I love it. Okay, well then, without any further ado, except for the music, which hopefully should start in just... There it is. All right. Now, when last we left our heroes, on their way back to the town of Corvosa, across the horizon, a large looming figure approached our heroes. Now that they were armed with the sword Sazuriel, it was imperative that they make it back to Corvosa so they can use its power to defeat the evil queen and free their city from her tyrannical grasp. But before then, a new threat emerged. A large, giant, colossal castle, hell-bent on attacking and destroying our heroes. As the battle began, I believe it was Dante who discovered that the large creature seemed to be searching for something within a small potion store not too far away. After acquiring a book of golem crafting, the giant's attention was now firmly affixed onto Dante. But much like the rest of the group, Dante decided that it would be a good idea to climb into the castle in order to try and get away from the castle. I'm not sure as to why yet, but this is what's happening. Meanwhile, creating a distraction, Unok has jumped into a well in order to escape being clobbered by this thing. It has begun to reach down, dig, and tear at the ground in order to try and get Unok, who is injured badly and stuck at the bottom of the well. Having managed to get out of range, Unok briefly celebrated the distance that he was able to have. However, the golem had many more ideas. Moving a ballista from its shoulder pad to its wrist, it takes aim down the well and at our poor, trapped dragon hunter. Meanwhile, inside the castle, our group has convened in the ballroom, a place with a large dining table, chandelier and the like, and a giant statue that is animated, come to life, and begun to attack our heroes. And it is here, with a fresh initiative, that we will begin today's session. Unok, we'll start with you. Arms and legs stretched out at the well, you hold yourself tight, your arms and your legs straining as you hold yourself aloft. You hear the ka-tunk sound of the ballista reloading. You see at the top of the well the small opening where the large bolt has now been aimed down in your direction. It is your scene. What would you like to do?
I was muted. I realized it right before you started the thing. This is probably the second stickiest situation Unok's ever been in. Let's not lie. It's the stickiest. I don't think anything he's come across as compared to a siege weapon being pointed straight down at him. He does not have magic, so he can't really get himself out of this situation fast. So,
if you would like some inspiration, you may use a wisdom check to see how you may potentially get out of the situation.
Okay, I was gonna do a stupid thing anyway. I mean, I hope I can roll high because my wisdom is 0.
Pretty high. Okay. Now, there are two potential strategies here. You have fallen quite a distance, but have managed to stop. You still don't know how much further it is left in the fall, but once you do hit water, you may be able to, at the very least, stop the impact of the ballista from ripping you to tiny ribbons. Second, the ballista will fire, but it doesn't cover the whole area. What you could potentially do is, as the ballista fires, you could try to time your roll. So as the ballista makes contact with you, or is about to make contact with you, you release the walls, rotating your body in the same direction as the ballista to roll across the shaft of the actual bolt rather than being impaled by it. This will require precision timing, and once you have done so, you will then need to recatch yourself or risk falling again.
Precision is not Unok's thing. He may throw spear, and he may throw spear good, but that is that big thing, not dodging. So the best chance is probably for him to just drop down into the water.
Your dexterity is a +4, dude.
Yes.
And your reflex is a +20. It's like one of your highest stats. What are you talking about? You don't like dodge.
I think he's getting at, like, in character, he doesn't do it specifically for these kinds of situations.
I feel like his character sheet differs on that one.
Yeah, but you okay? You.
What's your let's see, what's your hold on, wait, let me just also check. What's your acrobatics?
I am also.
Your acrobatics is 20, dude. What do you
Okay.
mean?
Okay.
What the fuck are you even talking about?
Here's the thing. Okay, all of that is so he can jump good. It is not so he can
That would be your
dodge good.
That would be your athletics. Your acrobatics is also 20. The difference between your jump good is 3 points. I'm just saying. I feel like in that case, yes, it is very much an in-character thing to be very agile and good at dodging.
Unak has decided that he's desperate and it's all he can do.
But if you want to
even though
follow,
he doesn't usually do it.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
I'm not going to tell you which of the choices to make. I have lent you options, but I will not
Yes.
accept that one of those options is not viable because it's not what your speciality is. When quite clearly, your sheets are telling me otherwise.
Okay.
But yes, you can drop down
Let-
if you would like.
Yes. Let me rephrase. Of the two, to Unok, the most realistic chance of survival is having the water lower the impact of the ballista bolt.
Very well. Now, I believe if memory serves, you fell about 200 to 300 feet, somewhere like that.
About 300 or so, yeah.
Right. Okay. So, you are going to fall. As you do so,
Yes.
are you going to free fall? Are you going to try and keep like your hands on the walls to kind of slow you down? Keeping in mind this will impact whether or not you like may hit the water or not.
Unok's gonna bite the bullet and just drop, like pencil dive.
Okay. Let's see how you go. As Unok lets go of the wall, you fall 10 feet and land in the water. As you splash down, you begin to sink into the water, holding your breath, your armor dragging you down from its weight. And that is when the ballista fires. As it does so, the ballista hits the water's edge. And so 1 second. And you're presuming you keep moving down. You take no damage. As the ballista bolt, when it hits the water, slows its descent down, and you watch as the tip of the bolt just presses down on your armor as it reaches that deep. You and the ballista bolt are sinking into the well, but you are otherwise unharmed. The
Unok
construct
will not sigh because otherwise
It's a
he
good
would have
idea.
no oxygen.
It's like the Sonic the Hedgehog thing. Yeah. All right. The golem continues to try and search for you. Like it tries to move its hand away, but as I mentioned, it's kind of lodged in place. So it's gonna try and wrench it free with its last action. Yeah, it'll just pull its hand free and then try to look down to see if it can find you. Which then brings us to Ray inside the ballroom.
Okay. You'll have to refresh. How close was I to this armored guy?
You know what? Give me 2 seconds. as we are doing this, maybe have a conversation with your fellow teammates about what's going on, what you're looking for,
Sure.
what you want to do in battle. Buy me some time.
Agnes, what the hell is that chasing you?
Wait, is Agnes there or is Agnes still in the kitchen?
Oh yeah, Agnes is still in the kitchen.
Oh, sorry. I thought you had run into the room and it was following you. My mistake.
No,
No,
I
it
was in
was
the
following
kitchen.
It was following them prior, and then she got into the kitchen.
Okay, my
And it was
mistake.
hanging,
I'm
it
sorry.
was dissing about in the ballroom outside the kitchen, and then you guys
Right.
ran into it.
Oh, right. We just ran. That's right. We ran into the back of it. It's like, and
And Ro
I think
chucked a
he's-
plate at it. Yeah.
That's right.
And you tried to smack it.
I did. I think I may have smacked it gently, but it's like, okay, guys, this might be a little bit weird, but go with it. And I am going to trigger my false priest mode.
Go on.
And I am going to shift from my armored Tanuki thing to Happy Father Ray, who has certain things that he can do in this context, and so that I can. I mean, ultimately, I'm going to trigger. I'm going to smack him with the cantrip when the time comes. So meanwhile, everybody, you see me though, and it's like, hey, it's still me. Just by the way, I'm also appear to be a human at this point.
Nice.
So a short human, but still a human, and dressed as a priest. So.
All right, standing before you, where once the Tanuki you knew as Ray stood, now instead you see what appears to be a fatherly old man.
In priestly vestments.
In priestly vestments. Okay.
That is an interesting way of doing things.
What? Says the person who literally turns into a fox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's literally switched what looks to be a different class altogether.
Yeah.
I mean, sure.
Yeah. It's like, normally I don't do this in front of people, but it's I don't think, I'm not worried about him knowing my ability, and I'm not worried about you knowing my ability. So.
And Ro from the distance. How many of us can change shape? What the hell is that?
Don't know what you're talking
You
about.
know, every time somebody says they're going to do something stupid, I'm just reminded of that time when All Things Fantasy Woven was stood with this massive ass boulder just bowling down on him, and Dag was like, "What are you going to do?" And he said, "I punched the rock." That just topped it for me. It's like, I punch it. Okay.
Yep.
Sometimes you just gotta pull a Chris Redfield and just punch a rock.
Ta-da! All right.
Well, still loading, but it'll be here. I see characters on a map.
Wonderful. Like I said, Fantasygrams, ladies and gentlemen, took me what, like 2-3 minutes to get that one together, and the map is courtesy of which of my map makers is this one? Eightfold Paper. Eightfold Paper is the one who designed this map. It is the Haunted Mansion series, so very cool one there. Okay, so with your cantrip, by all means, feel free to unleash your cantrip.
He is a little farther away than I expected him to be. I'm not sure what.
Well, you still have
15-foot
a.
cone.
Well, you've just transformed.
Yeah. The problem is it's a 2-action cantrip.
Okay, here's a question.
He was wailing on him, so he had to have been in
Oh
melee
yeah,
distance.
was he
Yeah.
he had attacked you already,
Yeah.
hadn't he? Yeah, okay, so he was
Yes.
probably closer then. He's probably about here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to hit him with actually it's a fort save. So
All right.
do I just drop the fort save on him?
Yes, you do.
Half damage. Well, that's disappointing.
I mean, hey, hopefully it's full damage. Either way.
All right.
Oh, partially resisted. Damn it.
Oof, not a great spell to use on him as you cast.
Turns out.
As you cast the spell, it not only is saved for half damage, but also partially resisted, as the impact of your cantrip barely seems to shake the giant statue before you.
I should have just smacked him. There, I thought I was going to try something fancy. Well, that's my 3.
All right, which then brings us to the giant statue.
Could I tell what part of it he resisted?
No.
Okay.
No, generally you don't get that information unless you make checks or knowledge rolls, etc., etc., etc. All right.
Before continuing, can you shift me back to regular Dante? Because my last game I had transferred back.
Oh yeah, sure, not a problem. Give me half a second. Dante. Ah, yeah, there you go. Ta-da. Okay. The giant statue reaches down and is going to try and use a stone greatsword on Ray. A critical miss! As it raises its sword, it swings, but so tall is this creature that the top of the greatsword gets embedded in the ceiling. With its next action, it turns and tries to pull the blade from the ceiling, and once it does, part of the roof falls down in your area. I need Alizaro and Ray to both make me reflex saves. And this is our critical card. Oh, Alizaro moves deftly out of the way, avoiding all the damage from the falling debris.
Why will this thing not
It'll
let
be
me?
on main tab.
Yeah,
Oh, it's because I'm doing it from the combat tab. That was my mistake. There
Oh,
we
yeah,
go.
yeah.
Oh, and that left the chat box because
Yeah, take that dice.
You'd think they would have made the chat box just a tad wider.
You can set it to be wider.
I did set it to be wider. Let me drag
fine.
that thing out of. It's like, for God's sakes. Okay, it's in there. There.
Nice. That will also save, but not a critical save. You take 1 point of damage as some of the debris does fall on you. Now, as this happens, however, Ray, you notice that what has fallen down amongst some of the debris is what looks to be a small chest bearing a very familiar logo, a very familiar symbol to you. This is the symbol of a blooming rose bleeding across its thorns. This is a symbol of the god Milani.
That it is.
And with his final action, the large creature, with its blade now freed, is going to make another attack, this time sweeping wide and across in a horizontal arc, trying to hit Ray. And Ray, you duck down. You hear the sound of the windows here just being smashed by the blade as it passes over your head. But Alizaro, you're up next.
Alrighty, before I begin, I have a question. Last session we had said that there was a chandelier somewhere in this room. Is the statue under the chandelier, or have we moved away from where the chandelier would be?
It is underneath the chandelier.
Alright. I'm gonna go for it. Using a hero point to do this if needed, and obviously we'll take the note if it's given. Could I potentially try to strike the statue with my greater striking rapier, and if it hits, aim my spirit blades at the chandelier to try to knock the chandelier down?
Yes, you may. I will allow you to do this as a single action as part of your hero point. That'll require 2 attacks at your highest attack value. However, it'll do 1 lot of damage.
Yep.
Okay.
Alrighty, so plus 22. Kapow!
Nice, a solid
Yes!
hit. As your blade connects, you force the creature back. Now make an attack with your spiritual weapon.
Alrighty. Just do the lot of damage from the
Nope.
spirit. Nope, there it is. Spirit sword.
Yep, make your attack with the spirit sword.
Yeah.
Oh, if we go into actions, go
It
down
is
to your spirit
action.
sword.
Yep.
It's not giving you that. Let's your spirit sword uses your spellcasting stat, right? Or does it not have a spellcasting stat?
We just said it uses spirit damage because as a
Oh, it's your
swashbuckler, I don't have a
it's your regular
casting.
one. It's your regular one. That's okay. Yep. Cool. All right, done. Okay. So yes. So now deal your damage with your sword, then your spirit sword, and then add 4d6 damage from the chandelier.
Okay, so greater striking rapier damage. Yeah. Oh. Interesting. All right, and then you said 4d6
Yep.
times 4, and just drop it on the thing. What is that?
Drop it in chat, not on it.
Okay. Sorry. My apologies.
No, it's fine.
Da.
Nice. All right. So this is 16 points of damage as it crashes onto the top of it. It takes 1 point of damage. Is that right? Oh no, it takes 6 points of damage. My apologies. And as it does so, it is now pinned as the chandelier is now wrapped around its body, and it does need to take an action to break free of that.
Yeah.
All right. That's 1 action. You have 2 more.
Oh, I have.
That's what That's what the hero point costs. Is
Yep.
to do it as
The hero point is a single action. Okay. Oh. Oh shoot.
Only if you have a bow.
Yeah. Since the statue is pinned, I'm a little bit stuck as to whether it's worth trying to wail on it since it's pinned, or whether it's worth trying to move to see if I can figure out where to turn her. So that's where I'm stuck right now. Whether I should hit or.
Well, keep in mind, your efficiency is less about whether or not you can do damage and more about what your objective is. What is your current objective?
Rose's current objective would be to at least stall pin make prone, give it a little bit of a struggle, and then try to find the control center, throne room, whatever, of the castle. Because she's just seeing it as an obstacle, so that would be her.
Mm-hmm.
That would be her objective.
Well, to clarify, the only thing in this room is the ballroom, Agnes, and the kitchen.
Okay. Oh, okay.
What might
see.
potentially be an idea is to simply use your action to secure the door and call to Agnes to get the hell out.
Yes, that would be great. I did not think of that. Thank you. So, yes,
Because
Ro
here's
will
the thing,
use.
an obstacle can be worked through, got over, or simply avoided.
That's
Right now, the creature is pinned by the chandelier. It cannot move until it breaks itself free, meaning you do have an opportunity to get out.
all right.
And with your two
So,
remaining
in-
actions, you can start that process.
All right. In that case, that is what I would like to do. So, where is Agnes at the door heading that would lead out to the room, or is there a second
You
door
can
that
kind
I
of
am
hear
not?
Agnes in the next room over, like she's still in the kitchen.
All right. So in that case, Ro would use her last actions to kind of. Would you mind helping me move toward the door so I can go my 20, 25 toward Agnes to
Sure.
try to help her?
Not a
And
problem.
as she's moving, Ro's gonna yell, "The thing's down, let's go." And that's gonna be her. That's gonna end her turn.
All right. In which case, you can actually double move if that's all you're saying. So that's fine. All right, easy done. Which then brings us to Agnes. Agnes, you hear a voice calling to you from the ballroom.
I imagine I also heard the giant chandelier fall off the ceiling and smash into a statue.
Yeah.
So Agnes will cautiously peek her head out the door to see what all the fuss is about.
Yeah.
Just
What's all the fuss about?
As the statue just fell over, is it safe now?
Mm-hmm.
She's also slightly distraught at the chef just eating himself out of a window like that. Just like, wow, that was a
Extreme.
bit overkill, but like, okay,
Yeah.
she shattered this guy's life. I feel bad now. So,
Look,
yeah,
he
and
was
she'll
talking to
say roll.
condiments. He was mental.
This is true, but still, I felt sorry for him. Was there another door out of the kitchen?
Out of the kitchen? No.
Okay, so
You
she'll
have to
put her
leave
head
out
out,
the
see
ballroom.
Ro. Yeah. See Ro, and she will hurry over towards Ro. Yeah.
All right, done and done.
And she's like, "Oh, you dealt with the big statue. I just ran away. Good for you." And she'll pat you on the shoulder. I baked a beef
Alizaro,
Wellington,
any...
and the chef threw himself out of the window. That's how my day's going so far. So let's get out of here.
As Agnes pats Ro on the shoulder, she's just gonna be like, "Oh, thanks. I don't know how long you'll stay down, but let's go. And I'm sorry about the chef."
Oh. All right.
And then yeah, so she'll hurry for, I guess, whatever door's not near the statue.
All right, you head in that direction. Dante.
This spell rarely ever works, but we'll try again. To make things a bit easier, at least for Ray, I will use Tortoise and the Hare, targeting the giant animated statue, and Ray go.
All right, the statue fails as your spell begins to ensnare and wrap them.
And it is slowed 1 for 3 rounds, and Ray is quickened for 1 round.
All right.
Slowed 1,
Yeah,
specifically.
it is not immune to slowed, so it is indeed slowed 1. All right, you have one last action.
Seeing as there's only 2 directions they can really move in, and Agnes came out of the other, Dante will head for the door.
Okay. Dante begins to make his way, heading for the exit. As we then return to the top of the round, and Unok in the well. You are currently in the water.
I am indeed. I would like to try something.
Mm.
So, I just now conveniently remembered that my spear is supposed to have the returning property.
Mm-hmm.
Unok is also remembering how during the fight against the fat demon thing under the castle in Scarwall, he was able to reverse that to teleport to his spear.
Mm-hmm.
Could I try that again with the hero point?
Sure, not a problem. You concentrate your magics and your energy that you can channel through your spell, through your spear. Is your spear on your person, or is it up there?
It got knocked away from when I grew big.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
You are
it's somewhere.
teleporting to it. All right. Where did it
Yes.
Where did it drop? I feel like it dropped near the potion store, right?
Yes, it dropped somewhere over here.
All right.
Here or here, I believe.
Sure. Let us then, as you focus, you kind of concentrate, you see this energy building up and welling inside you. It takes a moment. You concentrate. It takes another moment. You concentrate. And then you disappear from the well and appear behind the potion store, still watching as this giant figure is looking and looming over the well itself.
As soon as Unok gets to his spear, he goes, I did. It's just start like he's not gonna like talk super loud, but he's gonna talk to himself. I didn't think that was gonna work. Oh goodness.
All right.
Oh, I need to get in better shape.
As you catch your breath, you watch and still can see that the others are nowhere to be found. The giant creature still rampaging through. And we have triggered the Dag of Holding. Yay!
Woo.
Okay. Ooh, actually, you know what? Yeah, this is actually a good time for it, too. The animated Colossus is going to continue, like, ripping up the well for a little bit. But then we will go back to the interior and back to Ray. As I mentioned before, Ray, you are standing beside what looks to be a large chest. And, the statue in front of you, trapped in a chandelier.
And this, right now, the statue is tied up enough that essentially he's not a threat at this point.
Correct.
Okay, then I'm going to yell that you can't move, get out of the room, I'll be right behind you, and I'm then going to, is the chest small enough to take, or do I have to open it and look at it here?
Roll a percentage for me. High for your benefit.
Roll a percentage.
Unfortunately, it is a little bit too big to carry with you.
Okay, so I'm going to open the chest and take a look.
All right. As you open the chest, the first thing you notice is what looks to be a large, very, very intricate-looking cape. The cape seems to bear the mark of the blooming rose, as I mentioned before.
Mhm.
Now, what this is this is a magical item called the Martyr's Shield. The Martyr's Shield, it basically allows you to remove a condition on an ally and apply it to yourself within 30 foot.
Interesting. Martyr's Shield.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, have I already taken it, or do I need an action to take
Oh,
it?
no, you can take it. That's fine. It's part of that. The second thing you find is a very strange and obscure looking pair of boots. These boots, however, appear to be completely normal, completely ordinary. One wouldn't even remotely begin to think of them as any kind of special shoe or foot garment. It looks incredibly ordinary. These are very special boots from the Dag of Holding. They belong to my poverty monk. Now, my poverty monk was pretty much as powerful as he was because, being a poverty monk, he had to only have less than, I think it was like 100 gold worth of materials throughout his entire career as a character. So what I ended up doing with this particular character was he ended up with a pair of boots which were only valued at 100 gold. But as a gift to him, the monk who provided them for him gave him the ability that whenever he would have these boots on, he would be considered to be the least threatening person in the vicinity. They were able to give like a guise of meekness, or even if you were wearing full plate, carrying a massive sword and a massive shield, you were never really considered a threat.
Interesting. So, given that it's in a chest that's marked with my deity of whom I'm a champion, I'm going to take the boots too, because
Nice, yeah, by all means. Yep. So these are these boots never really had a name, but the character was very, very funny because the character that I played for this was a dwarf protector named Barrick, and his friend was Belinda, a dwarven priest. Now Barrick had an AC of 60, and he had a 15-foot reach polearm that he swung around, and everywhere in his reach was difficult terrain. If you entered his terrain, he would knock you away, and if you try to approach him, he would basically make everything hard. So Belinda would stand behind him and heal and do all the spells and stuff like that, while Barrick would stand in the front, not being hit. The boots were something that we were gifted, well, at least Barrick was gifted, but I ended up giving them to Belinda because now Belinda couldn't be shot at from range or attacked by spells or targeted intentionally while Barrick was there. So people would just go to try and hit this big armored turtle and get nowhere. It's a very fun memory because I thought of all the powers that exist to increase damage, to increase armor, to build up high stats. It was actually the first item that made me realize that the stats aren't important. Intent is important. The world is important. The stuff we do with our materials makes a world of difference because the DM was certain that anything to avoid me getting hit or taking damage was what my character's goal was, because generally when you min-max tanks, that's kind of what you did. But when he saw me give it to the healer, that was, I think, one of the first starts of like being kind of respected for that kind of gameplay, where it's not just about me. So there you go.
Interesting.
Okay, so there you go.
Okay.
Let's call them let's call them shoes. Frugal shoes. That's what we're gonna call them. Frugal shoes. All right.
Okay.
So one action to loot the box. You've got 2 more actions remaining.
I
Well,
am going.
2 plus your pseudo haste.
I've got. Oh, that's true. I've got 3.
Oh yeah, true.
which you can use to stride, step, or strike.
Yeah. So the other thing too that I forgot is that I was supposed to have momentum at the beginning of this round,
Oh yes, true.
which I'm still not quite sure what it does. I don't know whether it would have made a difference on the last one, but it's too late now. He's pinned. I am going to disengage. I'm going to. Oops. Sorry. I'm trying to move it on the chat on the call. I'm going to. I'm not going to go all the way up, but I'm gonna get some room in case he tries to grab me. But meanwhile, I'm not leaving until. Essentially, what I'd like to do is probably hold the rest of the movement until Alizaro and Agnes get clear.
Sure, I don't mind that. Not a problem. Okay. Then that brings us to the giant. Being slowed, he only has 1 action, which he's going to try to use to break free. Oh, sorry, 2 actions. First action, he's going to try and break free. Of course he does. With a natural 20.
Can I use my hero point to cancel out that natural 20?
No.
Can
Get
I
outta
use?
here.
Can I use Agnes's and my hero point to get?
No!
Ro just did the distance. I tried.
He did.
Can we all use a hero point? No, I'm just kidding.
So, at this point, the statue is going to pick up the table.
It's a very long table.
Yep. And that is all he does. You watch as he's got this glimmer of very destructive ideas in his mind. Alizaro.
Okay. Seeing the thing pick up this big honking table, Ro's gonna look at Agnes. Run, and she's just gonna use her as much movement as she can get with 3 actions of movement to try to get around to head out. How many feet would that be? 75?
It's fine, not important. You run out
Okay.
of the room.
Yeah.
Okay.
Make up.
You are making a beeline for it. Agnes, what's your call?
Yep.
Oh, Agnes is definitely following Alizaro. She's pegging it out whatever door we're supposed to be going out of.
Yep. Dante?
I will. No, I have to fully leave because that's a 3-action spell.
Okay.
I was gonna block the doorway.
Okay. So, the whole lot of you run as quickly as you can and begin to make your way back through the castle. Now, I need everyone to make me a survival check, please, to see if we can find the throne room.
That would be great if I could figure out where the hell my skills is. Okay, survival. No. Wait.
Ooh, 2 30s. Alright, and Ray?
Ray rolled the 30. Waiting on Agnes.
Oh, sorry, Agnes.
No, I rolled. Okay, I'll do it again. Okay, it's just not showing up. I rolled, and at first I got a 15, then I got a 16 plus 17. I don't know why it's not.
Try
Try
double.
double-clicking it.
Yeah, try double clicking it.
Like the dice is rolling. Like there, that's just rolled a 6. But it's not
there we go.
showing up in the chat.
Oh, there
Oh,
it goes.
there you go.
Oh,
There you
there we
go.
go.
There you
They're
go.
all
You're the
turning
best
up
of us
now.
all.
All right, 32. Yeah, it just took a while to kick in. All right, 32 will be the one that we use. All right, the three of you managed to indeed find the throne room. All right, one moment while I... All right.
Did somebody secure the door?
No.
No. Okay. Of course not. I forgot.
So, as you open a set of double doors, you find a large and opulent throne room. Banners of a kingdom long since lost hang tattered, blowing in the wind that comes from several stained glass windows that have been shattered over time. What was once maybe a proud and bold rug that led up to a flight of stairs in a risen dais now lays in ruin. At the top of the stairs, you see a stone throne and a figure seated atop it, hands clenched on the arms of the throne as it casts its gaze down towards you. A hooded cowl concealing their visage in the dark. What do you do?
Are there
So
any other threats
there's a
you-
figure on the throne, did you say?
I did.
But it was hooded. Okay.
Mhm.
Is it like how size wise is it? Like just
Human
Average
sized.
human
Yeah,
size?
average
Okay.
human sized.
Is there anything else in the room?
Nothing you can see or perceive as a major threat. No.
Do we try and talk to him?
I mean, Agnes is always for talking first. I just wait to see if the other group's going to do something first before I just either knock on the door or just go, "Oh, hello, dearie."
Well, I think we're already in. Aren't we already in the throne room?
We are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying
So
in
it's like-
general, like, you know.
It's like, should we be saying something like, excuse us for the intro? I mean, that's where
Ro
I'm
would
dressed.
kind of nudge
I am dressed as a
Agnes.
priest right now.
I mean, Agnes will, like, just slowly, I guess, respectfully approach the throne. I don't know how far away it is from the door, like, is it there? Well, she'll, you know. And then once she's within what she thinks is a distance that she can talk to this person or thing without having to shout, then she'll say, you know, hello, and probably give a little curtsy or something.
There seems to be no response from the throne. Just a cold and quiet stare.
Does it look like it's alive? Like are the shoulders going up and down like a breathing motion or anything?
It does not look
or
like
is
it's
it just-
breathing, no.
So it's just super still.
Has it moved at all?
No, it has not.
I guess we'll get a little bit closer.
You begin to climb the stairs?
No, she'll get to the bottom of the stairs and then wait for everybody else to congregate if they're not following her immediately.
Everyone just
I mean,
stands
I'm-
back and just watches you do this. You got this!
Oh, no, I'm moving with Agnes. Is my intent? If that's
Sure.
okay.
All right, Ray,
And
you
Dante
move with
will
Agnes.
Dante will be following with as well, but behind them, so if something
Yeah.
happens.
Sure.
with butt behind as well for
Okay. As you approach the stairs, you arrive them with no trouble. The figure still does not seem to move.
I'll try going. Hello, are you Apologies for the interruption.
All right. As you do so, we will cut back to Unok. As Unok, you are still hidden behind the house as the large castle colossus is now done digging around looking for you and begins to turn its gaze elsewhere, trying to find what happened to you. What do you do as you're hiding behind the potion store?
What's left of
He's
part of it?
he's looking for any sign of where everybody else went, thinking, did they really just leave me behind?
Roll a percentage for me.
Ten.
Okay. You hear a voice. I know what you're thinking. And yes, they did leave you behind. The bastards. They fear your power. They wish for you to die so they can claim the glory for themselves. These motherfuckers.
Unok immediately starts, like he said, snaps around to look wherever the voice is coming from. Because he doesn't want to, like, do his instinct of shouting, because he really doesn't want to get squished by the giant castle at the moment.
Fair.
He's in a lot of pain as it is.
He says, do not worry. I am here to help you. Or should I say, you are here to help yourself. Look, I know this might sound crazy, but you must trust me. You see the potion store?
Yeah?
Okay. Inside, underneath the table the apothecary used to craft his materials, you'll find a small wooden box. Go to this box and open it.
You know what? What's the worst that can happen following the strange voice in my head?
Exactly.
And Udok thinks nothing is wrong in this situation. He has dealt with weirder at this point. And we'll go try to find the said box.
All right. Make a perception check as you head in and look around for the box.
Okay. Once Fantasy Ground stops being slow. There we go. Perception. That is 35.
All right. Looking around, sure enough, underneath the table, you see a tiny chest that has been hidden underneath the floorboard. Now broken, the floorboard reveals the chest.
Is it locked?
Yes.
Is it like a little padlock or like
Tiny
a
little
lock that's-
Tiny little padlock.
Can I just grab it and yank it off?
Sure, make an athletics check.
Hey! That
Clang!
lock is nothing behind my might.
All right, you rip it off.
And Unok will open the box.
Inside, you see what looks to be a smoking pipe.
I don't really smoke, so I don't know how this is gonna help.
He says, it will. Trust me. Now, all you need to do is take a big draw from the pipe.
I've always been told not to take drugs from strangers.
I'm not a stranger. I am a friend. A good friend. A good friend that says you should smoke this pipe. Come on. Don't
Peer
be a
pressure.
square,
Peer
man.
pre-
Hey, okay.
Sure.
I am many things, but I am not a square. I am very clearly an orc. And just, he'll do it.
How dare you call me square? Me no square, me orc. All right. Taking a deep breath in, your mind begins to swirl and basically wander. In that moment, you now gain invisibility.
Woo.
All right. Meanwhile, back in the throne room, Ray, as you look up and address the figure, there is still no response.
Well, at this point, I'm gonna continue up the stairs and go, "Are you all right?"
Continuing up the stairs, you eventually arrive at the throne. The figure seated there is naught more than a skeleton, bleached with bits of hair that still hang from a dry scalp. Several teeth having fallen out over the age as he just hangs long dead. Next to a small, like I said, next to us kind of a small table where his arms kind of reach out, and a book with a quill.
So I'm gonna take a look at the book. It's a skeleton. It's not a person. To the group,
The rest of the
so
group
that they're not.
climb up the stairs. All right. As you do so, you gather around Ray, who picks up the book and takes a look at it. It appears to be a journal. Now, by the way, if anyone sees any similarities between what is about to transpire and properties otherwise not belonging to me, purely coincidental. As we play the plot twist, Buried Secret. One moment while I get some music queued up.
Open it and have a look.
That's what I'm doing.
All right, here we go.
I'm about to turn into a turnip, but you know.
As you open the book, it says, "Hi, whoever's reading this, welcome. I am Zigavin, the great and powerful wizard. Well, I'm all right. How are you? Oh wait, I'm writing a journal. So I've been brought here to the kingdom by the king, who, you know, runs the kingdom because it's called a kingdom, a place where a king dominates, so kingdom. And I've been asked to produce a mighty and powerful weapon. But the king, he was so adamant on having a weapon that he said if I don't produce one, I'll be executed. I don't know how to create a weapon. I kind of do magic tricks, you know, like in the streets for money. I think his guards want me killed, because I feel like the guards were told to bring a wizard. But I'm, like, not really a wizard. I mean, a little bit, but I do like tinkering and alchemy. Maybe I can build my way out of this? Anyway, if my diary's only 1 page long, I've probably been killed. Day 2. Okay, so I might have told the king that I can create a giant golem. And, you know, the thing is, I told him that I needed this special and rare material called orichalcum to make a control rod for the giant weapon. And he's kind of set it up. But, I don't know, if they don't find the orichalcum, I'm worried that I might still get executed. If you don't hear from me again, then, you know, they failed, which is very likely because, you know, I made the material up and have sent their knights on a wild goose chase. You skip ahead a few pages. Day 40. The knights have returned. They have orichalcum. I don't know where they found it. I don't know how they got their hands on it. I don't even know what this stuff does. I now know I have 3 crates of it. And I need to make a weapon out of it. Oh God. Oh God, I'm gonna die. For the next few pages, it is just scribbles and doodles, and sketches of like hot, barely dressed women. And eventually, at day 75, okay, so I took the orichalcum and I put it in the castle. And if all things go well, it should animate the castle. Maybe make things a little bit easier for the king, you know? Like, move tiles so that they can move from one room to the other without having to walk. Or change portraits. Or maybe even cook good food. I have some goblins here to help me with the construction. I don't know if they know much about construction, but hey, what do I know? I'm not a wizard. Okay, well, as always, if I don't respond next, I'm probably dead. Next day. The king is dead. The castle retaliated, and it seems to have come to life on its own. Turns out the ritual used to build the orichalcum control rod bounded it to the person who made it, and when it saw the king as a threat to my life, it killed the king. And when the king's guard were seen as a threat to my life for killing the king, it killed them. I'm pretty sure their bodies are still in the wall somewhere. And, every time I try to leave the king's throne, the castle seems to bring me back. I'm so hungry. And the journal just continues. He apparently had not left his throne for 2 months. And he had survived off nearby rats that had managed to squeeze their way close enough for him to eat, and rainwater pouring in from the windows. Eventually, he succumbed to starvation. He says, if you read this journal, I know that you might be wondering of a way to stop this terrible and awful creation that I've made. And the truth is, I am hoping that in my death, it is stopped once and for all. But the truth is that the control rod I hid in a book on how to make golems, because I didn't know how to make golems. This is my first one. And I hid the control rod in its pages, which I ripped out. In hindsight, I probably should have left those pages in there to perhaps help teach people how to deal with the golems of this nature. But, the control rod's in the book. And if you can find it, well, you can shut it down. Either that or I left it in my sock drawer, and the book is just filled with empty pages. Okay, thanks for reading my journal. I'm gonna die now. Goodbye. The next day. So I didn't die. I'm still very hungry. And that is the last journal entry.
Okay. Well, looks like we're looking for a book or a rod in a sock drawer.
Oh, that poor man.
Dante will
A book
What
proceed.
torture he went through.
Dante will proceed to pull out the Manual of Golem Crafting. I believe referring to this one.
Uh-oh. Have you opened it?
Skimmed a few things just to get a gist of it, but not completely. He will proceed to open it and see if there is a control rod somehow hiding in it.
As you open it, sure enough, the interior center is hollow, and there is no lock, no kind of security at all. There just seems to be this very ornate orichalcum key that is just where the pages of this book should be.
He'll pull it out and look at it, unsure if he's supposed to do something with it or put it somewhere where there is a lock.
There is no lock. There is no place to place it. It's almost like it looks like a key, but it's more like what do you call it? Like maybe a key for the whole castle, like to the front door or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like a skeleton key?
There's the
yeah.
word.
Bad guess. So,
I'd be very careful with that, Dante. You don't want to be, well, like this guy, she says, nodding at the skeleton.
Well, it said in the journal we can use it to deactivate this thing. However, if that's true, we might be able to get it to where it's not going to be bothered as much to then deactivate it.
so it looks like the key to the front door.
Hmm?
So what do you
Wherever
think?
that
We
front
get
door
it
is.
if we can get it if we get it where we want it to be, then if we walk out and lock the door, is that gonna
I'm
maybe make it?
gonna
back
jump
away?
in here before anyone makes any wild assumptions. You are
Yeah.
welcome to make an Arcana check to try and decipher how to use the key
Oh, that might be a good idea.
instead of like, key no work.
Yeah.
Blah.
Is anybody good at Arcana?
Agnes apparently is at least trained.
25 is not enough. You do need a 30 in order to identify this thing properly.
Oh, that's not enough either.
I have a -1 intelligence.
I'm not even trained.
Can I burn a hero point and try and reroll that?
Sure. And Dante, you can always use an at 20.
I could.
Got
Aw,
worse. Oh.
dang it, Steve. Very unfortunate.
You know what?
That's true.
I've got 3 hero points. I'll use a hero point and reroll mine.
Okay, give it a go. Hey, 37.
Hey.
Okay, Agnes.
Yay!
This is a control rod. It looks like a key purely for aesthetics. All you need to do is hold onto it, think super loud, and input your commands into it. Tell it what to do. Tell it what to feel. Tell it what to think.
Well, apparently you just think at it. Very specifically.
You have to, with intent, speak what your order is.
Right. So the real question is if we can at least see where we're going to make sure it's in a better spot instead of just leaving it out in the middle of town.
And what about Unok? Maybe we should use it to find Unok.
Well, if we're gonna, are we gonna drive this thing? Sorry, I lost my audio, so I missed a little bit of that. So I apologize. But so we figured out that we can actually use it.
Well, no, I haven't tried it. Why don't you start with something simple and Dante and just tell it to, I don't know, stop for now.
Right. He will give it the command to essentially sit in place.
All right. As you do so, the orichalcum begins to glow, and the kind of like key head sort of takes on this like almost orb of illumination as the power surges through it. You watch as all of the grout and like the tiles between the spaces of the bricks and the walls and stuff just suddenly illuminate with power. As this happens, a voice can be heard. Invalid user detected. Invalid user detected. Immediate cessation of life forces. Primary user not found. Primary user identified as deceased. Instigating self-destruct. Castle is in lockdown.
Oh, damn.
You watch as the windows suddenly slam shut.
Oh.
You watch as the doors suddenly slam shut. You watch as all the lights in the building suddenly change from the flaming illumination to bright red. Be advised, this castle is about to self-destruct. All registered personnel and users of this castle are asked to evacuate to the procedural evacuation points. Those of you who are intruders, please remain where you are for maximum efficiency. Thank you, and have a nice day. Meanwhile, on the outside, Unok, as soon as you smoke the pipe and you breathe out, you turn invisible, and you watch as the giant suddenly stops, stands at attention, and says, "Self-destruct activated. Self-destruct activated." And you hear the voice go, "See, what did I tell you?"
Urok looks at the pipe, looks at the thing. I don't need to invoke my death right. I am a god now!
Okay, as the self-destruct kicks in, now I'm going to say that the radius of the explosion is going to be 500 feet. So, you guys have a way to go.
Yep. We have a way of getting out quick. It's just Unok isn't here.
That's true, which means you have to go get Unok. Oh, almost there.
I think you reached the edge. Oh, nope, never mind. It's still gone.
There we go. Okay, that is 500 foot.
Jesus.
The map
It's-
is almost a
that's-
speck.
I'm sorry. The map ends. Therefore, we're going to fall off the face of the earth if we actually try to get.
Oh yeah,
out
it's
to
like
that
it's like that
500
Stephen King thing. What's it called?
Under the dome.
No, the
Yeah.
Langoliers.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is nothing beyond that. Okay, we need to find.
Did
Enoch,
you just
because-
measure? Like, how far can I run? 30 foot.
I've got 30-foot movement. That's 3 actions. That's 90 feet. I can make it in 10 rounds. Roughly.
No, we've got to get out. It's
Meanwhile, we
like,
never were given a timer, so we have no idea how long it's
yeah.
3,
Yeah.
2, no.
No,
Ro looks at Dante. We're busting out of here, right? You can get big. I can get big. Who's getting big?
Well, first, see if we can even do this. He is going to try and lightning bolt the window.
The window is now covered in stone.
Got it. Never mind it. Then yeah, definitely gonna have to break out of here.
Yeah, so Agnes runs back to the door of the throne room to see if it'll open. For starters.
All right, you open it. As you do so,
And then she's going to listen or look for the sound of hurrying footsteps of any of the castle staff heading towards said designated evacuation zone.
you do hear the you do hear the sounds, and you actually see someone running past you as you watch a couple of these goblins. What's happening? I don't know. We're blowing up. Oh no, not again.
Again?
This has happened before.
Well,
Yeah, so Agnes will like throw it back over her shoulder, this way, and then she'll follow the goblins.
all right.
Away we go.
All right. Do you all follow?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
As you all follow, you begin to run as quickly as you can, keeping up with the goblins as they're moving left, right. They go down a flight of stairs. They go up a flight of stairs. They cross over this bridge that's over a corridor. They continue forward and forward and forward until eventually they come to like this thin corridor in what looks to be maybe a boiler room or like a cellar almost. As they squeeze past and they move, they say, "Move!" As they all seem to hang around. They do not look to be in an evacuation area, but more like a break room of some kind. There you can see a large chalkboard with a bunch of goblin words on it and a whole bunch of numbers. You watch as they seem to be yelling things at each other in goblin and passing money around the place. The goblin you've been following suddenly pulls out some money and starts yelling, I've got five. I hear five. Okay, yep, we'll take your, they just pass the money across and stuff.
Does anyone understand Goblin?
Nope. All right.
What are we betting on, people?
I speak many languages, but Goblin is not one of them.
Same issue.
They look up at you, and one of them says, "We're betting if we die."
Well, is there a way out?
Well,
Huh?
what about the evacuation points?
Oh, you're serious?
Right.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah. No, the evacuation points. The thing about a transforming castle is, it moves around, so we don't know where it is.
Oh.
Yeah, we just meet here to see if we're gonna die.
This has happened before?
Oh, yeah. Some goblins, they don't make it out. Some goblins make it to certain places. The walls purge us. The fire purges us. Lots of little stuff happens. But yeah. T-minus 1 minute in counting.
Dante's
Who had 1 minute? Who had 1 minute? Hey!
Dante's gonna see
where's
if
the-
he can command Orichalcum to let him know where the designated spots are.
They begin to scan the area, and you see designated evacuation area is here. And it sort of draws like this lined map around the corner and up a flight of stairs.
Got it. Start running in that direction.
Okay.
Yep.
You begin down the road most traveled. The fastest place towards the evacuation point. As you do so, eventually you come to what looks to be a toilet. The same toilet that Agnes was brought to before.
God.
Oh, this doesn't
It's
surprise
flush.
me.
It's the throne room.
No.
We're going to be flushed.
No. It's an evacuation point.
That's true. Yes. Well, it's bad
It's
day.
It's for your evacuations when you
Oh, God.
poop.
Yes. Well, I was going to say it's too early for this, but it's too early. It's too early for
It's
this.
too early for this. All right. Unak, what are you doing?
hearing that it's gonna explode, realizes he may be a god now, but that might not make him explosive proof. So he's just gonna fucking run.
You know,
We're
you hear
never
a
gonna
voice say,
find
"Don't
him."
forget the pipe."
Oh yeah, no. He's holding on to that. He's got the pipe in one hand, spear in the other, and he is just booking it.
As you
He's
are
like, I can't lose my divinity yet. I just got it.
as you as you begin to sprint as fast as you go, the voice says, "Wait, I have an idea. Okay,
What is it?
if the explosion, right, is like massive, okay? Now hear me out. What if you found a cave and went underground?
Where would there be a cave?
You take a puff of smoke, use that magic god power, and find one."
Oh hell yeah, great
I mean,
choice.
there was
Immediately
also the
does
well.
it. Zero hesitation.
As you breathe it in, the pipe smoke floats up, but then mysteriously clings to the air and begins to like swirl and snake its way into the forest.
Follow the smoke.
You begin to follow
He is losing breath. Why did I choose to wear heavy armor?
and start smoking as you make your way through the forest. Eventually, you come to what looks to be a large cave. The smoke leads into it, but then dissipates. As you quickly make your way in, you can see that it is a deep and winding cave that'll lead underground.
Oh, perfect. Bolts straight in.
Nice. As you do so, make a perception check.
Gonna be, aha, you fool. It was a mimic cave. Perception.
Okay. As you go in, unfortunately, you do not notice how steep the incline is. Your feet slip from under you, and you slide down into the dark, tumbling over yourself as you take
8 point of damage is going to kill him.
3 points of damage.
Oh, hero point to stay on one.
I honestly thought you might not. I thought you might just be like, I'm gonna fall unconscious. This is how I die. This is...
No, I was about to, and then I realized I had a hero point, so...
Okay. So, as you land on your back at the bottom of this, at the bottom of the incline, you watch as what looks to be illuminating funguses sort of seem to create this like ambient network of tunnels deep underground.
Boys, you're not gonna tell me to eat the mushrooms, are you?
What? No. But
Oh, thank gods.
you know, the thing's still going to explode, and I don't know if we're far enough away.
You're right. Deeper we go. He struggles to stand up and just starts hobbling down the path.
All right. You start hobbling down the path, past the mushrooms, and on and into these caverns. Meanwhile, back in the castle, you now stand outside of the toilet. Yeah, you now stand outside of the toilet.
At this point, I'm going to say, guys, I don't think we're not going to get out of here. We've got under a minute. I believe we can use the teleportation spell and go, but we're going to be leaving Unok behind. What do we do? But we're going to die if we don't. As I pull out the teleportation scroll.
Out, but outside of that, yes, you would have to use that.
Just out of character quickly, how many days travel if we traveled normally is Corvosa away from here?
1 moment.
Oh, but the teleport is tied to somewhere in the city.
It's
You
tied.
kinda
Yes,
just
I've got like this is a
yeah,
scroll
you
that
kinda
will
just
take us to
teleport us
Corvosa.
like a
No.
mile away. Right,
No,
gotcha.
I do not have powers.
Okay,
Not like
let's have
that.
a look. What? No, I don't want that. There we go.
Wrong map.
What? There we go.
Aren't we
okay.
somewhere around? We're below. We're in the green below the Cinderlands, aren't we?
Yes. So you should
I
be
think
around.
we were somewhere around Sarathu.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So you would be. I'd say you're about here, which means Corvosa. Which would be just over 100 miles, which should be 2-3 days worth of travel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see an option. As I get ready to execute the scroll, whether with or without them agreeing, are we all close enough together that it's going to take all of us anyways?
It takes willing creatures, so they do have to be willing.
Okay.
And there was nothing in the journal that suggested how to bond to the rod.
He
Nope.
tore all the
'Cause
pages out.
Pages are out.
No, he ripped out the pages that would have taught that. I mean, if you want to, you could potentially do an Arcana check to try and figure it out from the pages that are remaining.
One last
I'll
try.
have to try, yeah.
All right, one moment while I
don't think that's going to cut it though.
hold on 1 second. So,
Our level,
okay.
I think like 35 was the DC. Normally.
Sorry, 1 second.
I mean,
Okay.
I'm willing to burn a nat 20.
Yep, 35 is the DC.
Odyssey identification.
On Arcana, I've got 16. If I burn my nat 20, I suppose I could try rolling it first, couldn't I?
You could.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not enough.
All right. Well, it's up to you as to whether or not you want to use the nat 20, use the teleporter, or use the toilet.
Well, we could have. Yeah. I mean, we're not. Let's put it this way: we're not going to get any. We're not going to get far enough away in the under a minute left.
Wait a second. Does this toilet follow the principles of all castles, like actual real world castles?
Maybe.
Or does this look like indoor plumbing? Yeah. Do we go down the poop chute? That's the question. Agnes is going to check that. She's going to check to see if it has one of those external, straight down the outside. Although we're still going to be in the blast range, though, if we.
Yes.
You can see that there is a tunnel that leads out and away. Or as they say in Scotland, up and out. Up
If we get out, I can at least become a dragon, and we should be able to get out of the blast radius.
I don't want to leave Unok. We should try to find him. We need to use the tunnel.
Are you going to dive into the tunnel?
Well, the tunnel just leads outside the. Well, we think outside the castle, really, which is still in the blast radius.
But if we go out the tunnel, if we can dragon, if Dante can dragon, and then we can mitigate some of the damage. But Ro is not going to want to leave Unok behind. She's going to be very worried about Unok.
Would you say that I know Unok well enough to cast a sending spell to him? Like, we've travelled together for a long time. So.
I'd be happy with that.
Right, Agnes will just. Unok's running. Stone out of his mind. And then he hears another voice in his head. Only do 25 words with this. Whether you know you can respond or not, the spell might tell you you can, but you can respond immediately with 25 words of your own. But Agnes really just wants to know whether Unak's alive, so she's just gonna go, Unak, it's Agnes. Uh, are you alive? Are you okay? We're still inside the statue.
Dag, please. I want the funny voice to the Unok's head to respond.
Very well, if that's what you desire. Uno
just
cannot
to
come to the
freak out
phone right now,
Agnes.
as he is currently predisposed. But please feel free to leave a message after the.
It just blinks a couple of times. You see her eyes glaze over, right? And then she just blinks a couple of times and she comes back. It's just like, I think he's alive.
What do you mean you think he's
Right.
alive?
I like how Dante's just sick of Unok's shit already. He's just like,
I think we should use the scroll. Or get out. We've got no time.
I can get us out of the blast radius if I become a dragon, if it's still within time.
Let's do that then.
How can we
that's
get
a
out?
lot of ifs though.
Through the tunnel.
Do you think we? Well, do you want to try?
Go on.
If we stay close, how much time do we have left at this point? As long as we stay close, I can still trigger it probably
very
in
little,
the
like
tunnel.
maybe 20 seconds.
No, definitely not enough time then.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we've got enough time. I really don't. I think we're going to die if we don't go. I am going. Who's coming with me?
What I can get at least back over here to try and find him.
If we're
All
dead,
right.
we
Take
can't.
some time.
All right, fine. Rogue kind of huffs and then like gets within range of Scroll and is willing to go with Scroll.
Okay. Reading the incantations, Ray begins to channel the magics. As your bodies begin to dissipate and rip you from reality, you suddenly disappear from view. The castle counts down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And nothing happens. You then hear the goblins, like a bunch of them go, ah! And some of them go, yeah! Woo! Pay up, you fucks! As they start to, like, basically exchange stuff like and things like that. It's like, that's okay, one day! And they go back. However, one of the goblins, just as you teleport away, didn't really want to run the risk, so he goes to the toilet. And as he does so, he goes to sit on the toilet, but hasn't realized that as you guys were looking at it, or as you were exploring it, you kind of lifted up the seat that would normally, be used to kind of keep everything down. And he falls straight in. As he does, he tumbles through the pipe, and you watch as partway through, he disappears. Meanwhile, several miles along the coast of the Varisian frontier, there's an old man who's, like, harvesting food on a small farm, when suddenly this goblin, whack, hits him in the head. Ah, son of a bitch! What the hell? What the hell even? Hello? Oh, not this shit again! Fuck you, Xanderall, okay? It was one time, and the bitch didn't even like you! You realize that all of the piping in this castle had been affixed to a transportation spell, so anything that goes into the toilets landed on this guy's hated enemy. And that was why it
Good
was
thing we never went through it.
And yeah, that's why it was an evacuation point. Yeah, there you go. Cool. Easy done. You guys have escaped, but what becomes of our dear friend Unok? We will find out next time when we return to Curse of the Crimson Throne. In the meantime, however, guys, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Michael. I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer. This is my place. This is my face. You can find it here a number of times per week. Be sure to join us on Wednesday when we come back for Reign of Winter. And until we see each other again, stay safe, stay wonderful, be kind to each other because why the fuck not? It's free. And until we meet again, game hard.